Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit Saturn. The transiting Saturn is in square with natal moon. The way the transiting Saturn behaves in square with natal moon depends on the position of the natal moon. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect with natal moon. But the basics are this. This is one of those moments when your family life is threatened by a sense of personal security. An attack that will turn your feelings into a key change. You will feel exhausted, isolated, depressed, negative and without self-confidence, and in such a state you will find it difficult to deal with the simplest answers and concerns. So, it's a difficult moment in your personal life, and you may feel disconnected from others or quite lonely because of this. The cycle repeats every 15 years, and the duration after the impact will be felt from 1 to 3 months. But the cycle beats are different. Even people who have a good position of the moon in one of the two impacts will feel the incompatibility of these two planets. Therefore, this would not be an ideal time to take on some additional responsibilities. Instead, it would be best to discard what burdens you and return to those who care for you, and family members deserve special attention in development, because there is a possibility of losing a family member, or a property that you consider your home. Because of all this pressure, you tend to blame yourself for certain emotional conflicts that arise now, and this causes irrational and explosive reactions, which usually cause others to turn away from you or reject you. On the other hand, a certain job will make demands that are in conflict with your personal life, and this is where your emotional communication breaks down. So we have a conflict between your professional and personal obligations. And in such conflict with your emotional needs, it is difficult for you to do what you need to do to maintain healthy relationships. Then you become much more demanding of yourself and very self-critical, and you tend to weigh your achievements against the incredibly high standards you set for yourself. Many people will say that Saturn is a karmic planet, and that it is about paying old debts, and facing the consequences of what you have done or left unfinished in the past, that is, being aware of responsibility. But karma by definition is the manifestation of unconscious energy or vibration. Well, in this case, those inner feelings, which we hide from ourselves, come to light under the impact of Saturn. The positions of houses and signs will show in which areas and how heavy the impact will be. We will agree that this represents a time of numerous difficulties in intimate and family relationships. The square will change your inner world, and something or someone that you feel very attached to, or that you use is completely threatened at this time. No matter how we turn, something moves away from us, so stay on the ball and give yourself more time and downtime. Otherwise, you could end up with more unintentional and unproductive time off from illness, depression, or outright fatigue. Unpredictable provocations will force you to look at your relationships from a different angle, and to decide if you have fulfilled your purpose. That it is time to remove, or if there was a lack of purpose and what caused her death. Make some important changes in your priorities. Also, drop all pretense of being invulnerable and tough. Make some adjustments in the organization of your life if the demands and responsibilities of your career take precedence over your emotional needs. You will hardly get the support and emotional support you need to break through psychological problems and progress. But you will get a much clearer and more positive perspective, your emotional freedom will be limited, you will have bigger obligations and sometimes worry about those close to you. Metaphorically speaking, weak family relations are now in some danger. People and situations that are not strongly grounded fall apart and disappear in the moment. You can publicly sacrifice yourself for the benefit of your relationships or separate yourself from your relationships for the benefit of the public. Whatever they do, people will be more critical or judgmental, especially women, but most likely you will take their comments too personally. That's why it's best to instead cultivate your vulnerability by watching others deal with their own pain and hurt. Certain circumstances are out of control, and the stars want to show you that it's time for a change. In those moments of solitude and silence, which is very positive for you, avoid alienation and feelings of smallness and help others to help you. You have entered a period of intense self-evaluation that will help you continue to grow and mature emotionally. Pay attention to your health, especially bad habits. Unfortunately, this process is not fun and can sometimes be painful, and dissatisfaction will often act as a catalyst to use those habits that we need to be happy. Try to keep a sense of humor despite setbacks and complications, as this transit will ultimately help you improve and balance your life.